One teacher and her pen. Welcome back for day 3. Do you have your answers to yesterday's problem? The answer is 105. Most people would think you'd have to start with 9, but if you do 9 times 5 is 45, then you're only allowed to pick 1. And there are lots of different ways to try it, but actually it's 7 times 5 is 35, and 35 times 3 is 105. So it was 7 times 5 times 3 is equal to 105. And that was the biggest product, because product means times, the biggest product you could have got. So with this problem, we've got 3 dice. This diagram is showing a tower consisting of 3 identical dice. On the dice, each pair of opposite faces has a total of 7 dots. How many dots are there on the face on which the tower stands? So 3 identical dice. Each pair of opposite faces has a total of 7 dots. How many dots are there on the face on which the tower stands? So pause the video, have a think, and then unpause to get the answer. So hopefully you've got your answer. I'm hoping you know what faces are. So if I was to draw a little cube here, these are the faces. That is a face. So opposite faces mean this one and the one that you can't see at the back. So if the opposite faces have to add up to 7, we've got our 4. So it must be 3 on the other side. So 4. So 3 must be on the other side of that. 6 here. So 1 must be on. So it's 6 and 1 are already gone. So the only 2 left are 2 and 5. So how do we decide which one it is? Well, actually, this is our clue up here. If we're to turn this one round, you should see 6 with the 4 next to it and the 5 on the top. Well, if we have 6 here with 4 around the edge, 5 must be here. So underneath here, where the tower is sitting on, it must be the number 2. So 2 is my answer.
Now this one is for big boys and girls.
Right, so I think this one is quite tricky, but give it a go. Yesterday evening, my journey home took 25% longer than usual. So the time was 25% longer than usual. By what percentage was my average speed reduced compared to normal? So yesterday evening, my journey home took 25% longer in time than usual. By what percentage was my speed reduced compared to normal? Pause the video, see if you can figure it out. For this one, I'm going to give you a bit of a clue to get you started. Some teachers teach speed, distance and time like this. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. And some teachers like to use triangles and say speed, distance and time, and they can put a triangle over it like this. So I want you to try and use one of these formulas to try and work it out. The journey took 25% longer. So if this is now 25% longer, what percentage will the speed be reduced to? If you think you got the answer, I won't be a sec. So there are lots of different ways to have a go at it. I'm going to take a numerical approach rather than doing algebra. So if I was to use this one and I said, what is my speed? I'm going to make up my distance is 100 and my time could be 100 as well. So 100 divided by, because when we use these triangles it's divided by, is 1, or 100 divided by 100 is 1. So my speed would be equal to 1. Right, if I was then to say to you, well, my distance is going to stay the same, but I'm now going to increase this by 25%. What is 25% on top of this? Well, 50% is 50, and 25% is 25. So actually it would be 125. Now all I need to do is 100 divided by 125, or if I use this, 100 divided by 125, and I find my answer. So you can either have a go on a calculator, but I don't like doing that. And as we did fractions yesterday, I'm going to have another go. 100 over 125, if I double both of those, okay, because I'll get an equivalent fraction, it would be 200 over 250. I can keep going, 400 over 500, and my last one you'd see would be 800 over 1000. So if I've got 800 over 1000, 800 over 1000, if I go like this, divide by 10, divide by 10, I've got 80 out of 100. Out of 100 is a percentage, that's 80%. So actually, if I kept going, this answer would be 0.8. And we know that 0.8 is worth 80%. So actually, if that's worth 80%, the average speed is reduced by 20%. So it goes from a whole to 0.8, which is a reduction of 20%. Well done if you got that right, and I'll see you tomorrow.